Yeah. God's doing a great work in me for sure, and certainly He purposed me straight for His purpose, purposely my first degree. God's doing a great work in me, a one that's serving me. I'm serving He, that means I'm serving three, doing it perfectly. He picked me up and threw me in the promised land, let me know that I'm the man, and He's still been promising. Brought me up from bottom, man, had to slap from 5 like dominoes. He upheld His right hand, still dominant, honoring the righteous. Yo, it's your big bro, Mr. Israelite, coming to you live and direct, letting all the people know that it's real life. Alright, and I'm back with another one. This one is called A Terrifying Prediction for 2030. The Great Reset. Now, it unprimed me up. I'm already knowing what this is, where this is going. You know, I don't know what the 2030 is, but the 2030 seems to be big right now. Like, apparently, you will hear occasionally things like Trump is the last president, this pope is the last pope. I've heard 2030 now came up in the last. Since 2020, 2030 been coming up. It's been a reoccurring theme. So, are we in the last days? Of course we are in the last days. But the Bible directs us not to put time and dates on something. So, I don't think anytime somebody gonna put a date on it. Matter of fact, look for the year that they don't have a date for. It's probably gonna be that one. The least likely of dates. And that could be this year, you know, so, hey, if you take my advice, you shouldn't know, but if you keep a watchful eye, you should be aware of the season that we in, you know, the season for treason, the season for believing in treason, yeah, because it's just a lot going on, it's getting wild out here, so, I don't know. Again, just a disclaimer. I haven't looked at 1 second of this, but it was given to me to do a review on. So I'm gonna do it. And if y'all never heard of the Great Reset, sure, let's look into it together. Hopefully this guy Let me put the screen up. Yep. Yeah. Alright. Yo, what up, though? Yeah. Okay. So, hopefully they get into it a little much. It's only a 13-minute video, which I like. I like the short videos. But yeah, let's see what this guy got to say. You can't say that much in 13 minutes, but hopefully it's one of them videos that just run through a lot quickly. And yeah, let's try to figure out what the dang government, or I don't know, the government, the church, I don't know who he talking about on here either. Let's find out together. Whoever it is that's trying to do something to us, let's find out who it is, what, and why.
By now, I'm sure you have heard some of these taglines: the Fourth Industrial Revolution, the Great Reset, and the Great Narrative. And of course, you will own nothing and be happy. And I'm sure you've seen the face of this guy being praised as a visionary who will guide our world into a prosperous future. But what does that really mean? And what is the World Economic Forum's plan for the world in 2030? Will it be a world of increased inclusion, equity, and freedom for all? Or, as many people fear, will it be exactly the opposite? I'm not here to answer that question, but what I would like to do is propose a hypothetical future scenario. A scenario that the WEF is promoting and the type of world we could be living in by 2030. A world where your property, your identity, your money could be owned and controlled by your government. At the end of the video, I do want you to make up your own mind whether you think the WEF is a force for good on the planet, or if we should be having some concerns and if we should be asking some questions. So let's get into it, shall we? shortly. But before we do have an amazing newsletter that people rave about, 60,000 people and counting. So if you want to join fellow freedom seekers, there is a link in the bio. To make my case today, I am going to be speaking about what I believe could be the three main pillars that surround the World Economic Forum's agenda for 2030, and discussing some of the things that they are promoting around the now famous event called the Great Reset. Before I start though, I just want you to keep two things in mind. Number one, the World Economic Forum and the leader, Klaus Schwab, haven't been elected by anyone. Yet despite this fact, they are trying to influence politics all around the world in order to transform the planet that we live on. Secondly, all of the resources that I'm sharing in this video are coming from verifiable sources, many of which are directly from the WEF's website. If you want to confirm any of the information, there is more info in the description. So let us discuss the three hypothetical pillars and how it might affect our lives. Pillar 1, surveillance. The first pillar in the 2030 agenda is the possibility of total surveillance of every single one of us. And the way the WEF could achieve this is by us requiring a new form of identification. The World Economic Forum suggests that every single person on the planet will receive a new form of digital ID, which they say would help promote a world of inclusion where everyone has more access to basic services. But they also suggest this ID could be linked to absolutely everything in your life. It could be required to book plane and train tickets and track where it is your ID could be linked to.
So right now, I don't know, maybe blow this up, Chris Jones. Right now, we got healthcare, financial services, food and sustainability, travel and mobility, humanitarian response. I mean, like e-commerce, social platforms, e-government, the electronic government. Okay, let's go. And telecommunications, smart cities. Yeah, whatever this is, most likely is the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep a watchful eye out for whatever this is. Right now, it's looking to be a chip in the hand or in the forehead, just as predicted. But that seemed too likely. So I'm looking for other things because we all think that that's what it is. Um, I can't see everybody taking this when it's so obvious, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, COVID changed how I looked at a lot of people and what people would accept and just do.
Absolutely everything in your life. It could be required to book plane and train tickets and track where it is you're going. This digital ID would be needed to access social media, the internet, bank accounts, and even a requirement in order to spend your money. And without your ID, it's possible you may not be able to buy anything at all. And who would control your digital ID and the data it contains? Well, of course, your government would. In short, absolutely every action you take in your modern life could be tracked by this new type of personal ID. What your online habits are, where you go, what you buy online, what you say online, and so much more. And if you think this kind of a system is a little bit worrying, well, you're not the only one that thinks this way. Just recently, Kenya's High Court ruled a digital ID system to be illegal in the country because they fear it could be abused by the government in order to violate a person's basic right to privacy. But the WEF doesn't agree. They think it's going to do more good than harm. But anyway, where would you be carrying this new form of ID? Well, according to the WEF, you could be carrying it inside your body. In his book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, Schwab talks heavily about how RFID chips could be used to track goods and packages around the world, enabling our economy to become significantly more efficient. But in referencing the same technology, he also said this: in the near future, similar monitoring systems will also be applied to the movement and tracking of people. He also says that the fourth industrial revolution will lead to a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological identities.
All right, right now, I just want to tell people my phone on the charger, or I will look up some scriptures for y'all. But my phone was almost dead. It was on like 5% when I started this video. I'm not going to go take it off the phone. I want to encourage y'all to go look into this though. This family, we got to teach our kids this. It's going to come a time where it's going to come a time when We're asked to take something like this and we are to deny it. It's going to come a time where they're going to try to shoot us with some stuff and we are to deny it. It's going to come a time where when we're going to be asked, our allegiance to Christ, and we are not to deny him. Death can come. You are not to deny it. So I just want y'all to think. What are you going to do if you don't accept this and you get cut off from all of these things? What are you going to do? My advice to you, if you just weren't sitting there really just thinking about what are you going to do when they cut you off from all of that stuff, and the only thing that I can tell you is to trust in the Lord thy God. It's the only thing you are supposed to do. He'll make a way. Um, you are to be in the world, but not of it. So if you happen to be alive and well when this happens, you are to trust in the Lord and do not take any of these things. Do not let them stick you forcefully, and do not let them forcefully inject or place something on into your body, especially anything that claims to change the DNA in any type of way. God made us perfectly perfect in our own rights. We don't need nobody else to go in there turning nothing on and turning nothing off. If God wanted it on, he'll flicked it on. If he wanted it off, he'll turned it off. All right? We got to stop letting these people just come in there and do what they want to do. But I'm going to let him keep going because this video is only on 4 minutes. I'm trying to make it through.
Echoing this on the website, the WEF discusses a future where electronic implants could become a relatively normal part of human life. Lastly, I want to mention something I've spoken about on this channel before, which is in regards to the WEF's potential forecast for a future of surveillance, which comes from an article published on Forbes, which is written by a WEF contributor. The article is titled, "Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better." And the line I want to highlight is as follows. "Once in a while, I get annoyed about the fact that I have no real privacy, nowhere I can go and not be registered. I know somewhere everything I do, think, and dream of is recorded. I just hope that nobody will use it against me." To be clear, this article was written by Ida Auken, who is a Danish politician and also a member of the WEF, writing as a contributor for the World Economic Forum. So this is pillar number 1, surveillance. And later on, I'm going to be talking about how the world of surveillance ties in with pillar 3. But for now, let's talk about the second pillar, which is finance. Pillar 2, finance. The next pillar of the Great Reset agenda could be around finance, and more specifically, putting more control of money and assets in the hands of the government. So you know the line, "You will own nothing and you will be happy"? Well, this is the pillar where this could be playing out. In multiple articles on their own website and elsewhere, the WEF predicts a world where people will no longer own most of the things they use in life. Instead, through a sharing economy, items like clothing and cooking equipment will be owned by your government and delivered to you when you need them. But according to a WEF member, sometimes you won't even need to decide what you need, because an algorithm that knows your tastes better than you do could make these choices for you instead. And
How can what? You know better than I do about me? Anyway, listen, did you hear what she said? They're already coming out and saying this stuff. You will own nothing and be happy. You will own nothing and be happy about that. Then be happy with it. I want to tell y'all right now that you already don't own what you think you own. You don't own your home. You can pay your home off and miss 1 or 2 property taxes. If you can't afford the property tax, you can have paid 800,000. Hit a bad time, a hardship at the end of that. Got ill, or weren't able to, for whatever reason life happened and you weren't able to make a payment. They can come then seize your home and then take it and sell it for half the price, you know, for a quarter of the price. And that's the same thing with you people with HOAs. You miss out on that HOA fee. You can, and they'll come seize your home and sell it for a quarter of a fraction of it, of the actual price. And you would think, okay, I wasn't able to pay that off. Yeah, I'm in a financial hardship. I wasn't able to actually pay my property taxes. You would think they'll take the money. Okay, we sold it for 500K. We'll take the property taxes out that you owe and give you the rest of the money because it's your house. So we'll take our fees and everything out and give you the money. No, they keep all the money and you get nothing. You lost out on 800K. Like, yo, why you won't get the rest of me? I'm the one that was in financial hardship enough to lose my house. Why wouldn't you give me the proceeds of you selling my house after you already took your taxes? Yeah, that's not what they do. That's what they should do. That's not what they do. They don't give you nothing. You're just homeless now. Same thing with HOA. This lady from off of HOA says she missed a couple of payments because I don't know, they wasn't getting sent to her house or something like that. They were not even a lot. Like her house was worth no lot, 800K. Her house was paid off. She missed a couple of them HOAs. She was a black woman in a white neighborhood. She said honestly, she think that they stopped sending them to her house on purpose. You know, the bill for it, but she said she never got it. She owed them maybe like $500 over a couple of missed payments. They put her house in the foreclosure. They seized her house. Since it was HOA, they put it on the market, sold it to somebody for $250. He went in and sold it and resold it for like 1.5. He had it for only like 6 months and sold it for resold it for 1.5. She got $0. They took her house for $500. You already don't own nothing. See what happened if you don't got the money to get your car out of tow, even though you paid for it. You can be out of town and parked your car somewhere and you've been gone for 2 weeks. You get back and your car been towed for the last week and a half, and you find out. And you get there and they charge you $150 a day. And then you like, wait a minute, I don't have $1,500 to get my car out. That's not your car anymore then. They'll auction it out quick. You already don't own nothing. You should be able to give me my car back and then let me just owe you. No, they selling that thing. So be careful, people. You already don't own nothing. You don't own the house here. If you own a house in America, you don't own it.
Your home? Well, soon that could be owned by the government as well, but you won't have to pay rent because someone else will be using your space when you're not there. In short, everything that you own now could soon hypothetically be owned by your government. But the most important tool, asset that you have, which we use every single day to
That's what BlackRock is too. These companies, all of these fires that's happening all around, these companies, whenever it's a tragedy or they burn up a whole neighborhood on purpose, they coming back. These companies are buying these properties. You almost can't even buy properties in California right now because when they come up for sale, the people can't, you know, they outpricing everybody, and they know that these other companies can't afford that. So what these companies are doing are actually coming to your house and saying, hey, they going the whole neighborhood's doing this. Hey, Your house is worth 750K. We'll give you $1 million for it though. It's like, dang, I gotta sell. Cause in all reality, that's the property that's worth this. The house be worth zero. The house is trash. So you overpaying for a location, but these people haven't upgraded their house in so long, you know. But they're buying up whole neighborhoods like that, just overpaying for the houses as a company. BlackRock is the biggest one.
Exchange value, which is money, seems that the WEF might have a plan for that as well.
But not the only one.
WEF talks heavily about how cash in the modern world is risky and how it should be replaced by digital money. And even though statistics show that many countries around the world would prefer to use cash over electronic forms of money, the WEF believes these people just don't know what's good for them. Instead, they believe we should all be switching over to electronic payment systems as it's the way of the future. So, what could replace a world where we no longer have any kind of physical money? Well, the next step would be to develop a secure digital currency that everybody can use. It's kind of like crypto, except the future digital currency proposed wouldn't be decentralized. It would be completely controlled by your government. And this is called the central bank digital currency, or CBDC. A CBDC would be fully trackable, traceable, and a secure form of currency that, like Bitcoin, lives on a blockchain. But it would be also fully centralized. It would be money controlled by those in power instead of being in the hands of the people. With a CBDC, your money would no longer be held in a bank account either. Instead, proposals suggest cutting out what they call the middleman, with your government becoming the bank that directly holds your money for you. Nations like United States, Brazil, China, Canada, Germany, Austria, and Australia are already at certain stages of research or developing a CBDC, meaning we may be only a couple of years away from this becoming a reality. But potentially, most worrying of all, a CBDC would also be fully programmable, meaning your government could place whatever rules they wanted on your money, potentially allowing you to only spend your money on the items that they deem appropriate, or even worse, cutting off your access to your money altogether. In short, it would become the perfect tool in order to track and control your money, the very thing that we need in order to survive in today's world. If you want to learn more, I've recently made a video about CBDCs. Feel free to watch that one after you watch this one. Now, let's move on to pillar 3. Pillar 3, scoring. Finally, the last part of the WEF's hypothetical plan for 2030 is scoring, basically ranking human beings against each other based on almost every single action that they take, and this is called the social credit system. Simply put, it is judging how good or bad of a citizen you are based on almost every single thing that you do in your day-to-day life, rewarding people who are doing things that the government likes and punishing people that do the opposite. Sounds depressing? Well, there is already one place on Earth that has implemented this system.
China.
Today, China has already the world's most restrictive social credit system. It's a system where citizens are ranked based on almost everything they do in day-to-day life, from how long they play video games to how well they drive, what their shopping habits are, and whether they buy too many luxury items, and especially what they say online as well as who they associate with. If a person's score gets too low, they can lose access to things in life that many of us would argue are human rights. Things like a passport, bank loans, or access to putting their children in a good school. And if your score gets low enough, there are even reports the governments can come and take your dog away. Only a few years ago, China was already banning upwards of 20 million people a year from buying a plane or train ticket because their social credit score was too low. And guess who is a big fan of China's system and the country's current leader? You guessed it, this guy. Klaus Schwab recently gave China's president a glowing introduction at World Economic Forum event and praised Xi's leadership as well as his nation's economic achievements. Don't like the idea of a credit score? Well, unfortunately, they soon could be coming to a country near you. The first social credit system in Europe is set to begin rolling out in Italy later this year, and the Australian city of Darwin has also proposed one as well. A social credit system like this would neatly slot in with the surveillance pillar, and it would make the scoring of every individual very easy, because if we all have digital IDs, we could easily be scored on our every action. Now, I personally believe that the very idea of a social credit system is disgusting, pinning humans humans against each other and ranking them based on their behavior, no thank you. But whether you feel as strongly about this issue as I do or not, there is one thing that really can't be argued with, that a system like this would eventually mean that the government would control the people and how they live, enjoy, and not having some government or algorithm deciding this for me, where I get to say what I want, where I get to associate with who I want without the fear of having some imaginary brownie points taken away from me.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give my conclusion. My conclusion to this is it's happening. So prepare. It's a show called Black Mirror on Netflix. They have this social credit score type of parody going on. You should go check it out if you want to see how this can affect you. This actually goes hand in hand with that new system with the chip or whatnot, everything digital that they can cut you off. They can do things depending on, just picture, you know how many people are in jail for stuff that they didn't do? Probably over half of them. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, probably like over half. Or they were just totally over sentenced and should have been home. But just picture being accused of something you didn't do, clearly didn't do. Instead of due process, they just cut all your stuff off and tell you to come in. Ain't no more coming to get you. I shut your life off and tell you, forget your rent that's got to be paid, forget your kids that need to eat, anything. Shut you down immediately. Bring yourself in or hide out. And matter of fact, we think you hiding over your cousin house. Shut you off until you turn him on. Shut your mama off until somebody come and bring him in. Shut your uncle off. Now everybody like, listen, man, you bothering my stuff. Where is he at? Bring him on in. Tell him to go see what them people want. Ain't no more running. They shut your whole family down. You run. Anybody think that they gonna house you? Shut them down too. You know, while they watching you from every single light pole outside, and fake freaking drones and drone birds and drone bees, and they got this stuff now. This ain't like futuristic stuff. This is right now. This is old actually. Then on top of that, you got to think like it's never ending. Like I can keep going with this. I'm not going to keep going, but just picture, just imagine being able to be shut down like that. What would you do? You know, what would you do? Trust in the Lord is the only thing you can do. Because if you let them put that stuff in you, you won't see the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? It's the double-edged sword like a bud. But hey, it's definitely happening. Um, you just have to be prepared, man. Have some other form of currency. Another thing, another wild thing that I want to bring up before I get off of here is like, you know, when you let them take away the cash, this is the biggest thing that you're able to do. Like, I can come over here right now. You see all this stuff behind me? I can be like, you know what? Right now, I can say, I don't want this camera no more. I don't want neither one of my MacBooks. I'm on a MacBook watching what you watching with me. I got a MacBook behind me. I got a precision over here. You understand? Like, two monitor, I can sell all of this stuff, all of the software on it right now, and come and make it come up. You understand? Like I can really be low on cash and sell all of this stuff. But in the cashless system, guess what happens after that? I can't just put it outside and say yard sale and come make some quick cash. This money, if I was to sell all this, it'd be tax free. I can sell all of it. It's my personal business, tax free. With the cashless system, I can't just sell you my couch no more. Government, Uncle Sam, get a piece of that. I can't just sell you my car off the books real quick. Like, oh, I got this car outside. Give me 2,500 for it. Somebody come over there and bring 2,500. I sign off on the title. Here, this is yours. See what I'm saying? You want my car? You want this desk? You want that keyboard right there? Here, come get it. $1,000. It's yours. You want this mic right here? Give me 500. It's yours. That's all cash. That's straight cash for me. No, Uncle Sam gonna want a piece of all of that. And they might even ask you where you acquired it. How'd you get that? You know what I'm saying? Like they can look into all of your personal business and find out who, what, when, where, and why. Like you lose anything personable, like it's over. So this is what people want, and this is what they're gonna give you. It's your boy, Mr. Israelite, and it's real life.